Welcome back, everyone. So far, we've talked about what makes someone difficult and explored the different types of difficult people. But now, we have to find answer of a question. Why do people become difficult in the first place? It's easy to assume that some people are just difficult by nature, but there are often deeper reasons that shape their behavior. Understanding these underlying causes will help you manage difficult situations more effectively and with empathy. Learning objectives. After completing this course, you'll be able to identify key factors that lead people to act in difficult ways. Understand the emotional, psychological, and situational causes behind difficult behavior. Recognize that difficult behavior is often a symptom of deeper issues. Difficult people aren't born that way. Many factors can lead someone to develop behaviors that frustrate or challenge others. These factors can be emotional, psychological, or situational. Let's explore these causes in more detail. Emotional triggers. Emotions play a huge role in how people interact with the world. When someone is dealing with unresolved emotions like anger, fear, or insecurity, it often manifests as difficult behavior. For example, someone who constantly criticizes others may be struggling with deep feelings of inadequacy or fear of failure. Criticism becomes their way of masking these emotions. Example: a person who lashes out in anger might be doing so because they feel threatened or overwhelmed. They don't have the tools to manage their emotions constructively, so they lash out at others as a defense mechanism. Psychological factors. Some people's difficult behavior can be traced to psychological conditions or personality disorders. Conditions like narcissism, anxiety, or borderline personality disorder can contribute to the way they interact with others. These individuals might struggle with empathy, emotional regulation, or the ability to maintain healthy relationships, making their behavior seem difficult to others. Example: someone with narcissistic tendencies may come across as arrogant or dismissive. Their need for validation might push them to act superior, making collaboration or compromise hard. Situational factors. Sometimes, difficult behavior stems from external situations rather than internal traits. Stressful environments, personal crises, or high-pressure jobs can push people to act in ways they normally wouldn't. You might notice someone becoming more irritable or controlling during a particularly busy period at work or when they're facing challenges at home. Example: a person going through financial hardship might become more demanding or tense in social situations. Their stress from financial insecurity spills into their interactions, even though it may have nothing to do with the people around them. Story illustration. Let me tell you about David, a project manager at a small tech firm. David used to be the friendliest person in the office, always willing to help out. But after a major promotion, his behavior changed. He became short-tempered, micromanaged his team, and never seemed satisfied with anyone's work. His coworkers were frustrated and didn't understand why he had become so difficult. It turned out that David was overwhelmed by his new responsibilities and was terrified of failing in his new role. His stress led him to act in ways that were out of character. Once his team realized this, they offered him support and worked with him instead of against him. Moral of the story: David's behavior wasn't about his personality. It was about the pressure he felt from his situation. Once others understood this, they could address the root cause rather than reacting to the behavior. Pot of water on the stove. Think of a pot of water on the stove. If you turn the heat up too high, the water will eventually boil over. The boiling water represents difficult behavior. But the heat, whether it's stress, emotional triggers, or psychological struggles, is what causes the boiling in the first place. If you want to stop the water from boiling over, you don't try to change the water. You reduce the heat. Moral of the analogy: when you encounter difficult behavior, look for the underlying heat that's causing it. Addressing that will help you manage the situation more effectively. Follow-up assignments. Reflect on a time when you felt overwhelmed or stressed. Write a one-page essay on how this impacted your behavior and whether others may have seen you as difficult during that time. Research one psychological condition that can contribute to difficult behavior, such as narcissism or anxiety. Write a brief summary of how this condition affects relationships and interactions. Now, let's know about your thoughts. Can you think of a time when understanding someone's situation or emotional state changed how you dealt with them? Or have you seen someone's behavior shift due to external pressures? Conclusion. That wraps up today's lecture on why people become difficult. In the next lecture, we'll explore how dealing with difficult people can affect you psychologically and emotionally. Thanks for your attention, and don't forget to work on your reflection assignment. Feel free to share your insights.